Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at AI.
Okay.
Specifically, what OpenAI might be doing beyond ChatGPT.
Right.
We've got some sources that suggest that they may be developing a browser that could actually threaten Google.
Interesting.
Yeah, and a bunch of partnerships that we'll get into, and even their role in the future of smartphones. So are you ready to dive in?
Definitely. What's really interesting to me is that it looks like OpenAI is going for something way bigger than just, chatbots.
Right.
It seems like they're really trying to position themselves to be like a major player in the whole tech landscape.
Yeah, their ambitions are huge. And let's start with this browser thing.
Okay.
TechRadar suggests that OpenAI is working on a browser to compete with Google Chrome, and they've even hired some of the key developers
Oh, wow.
who are really instrumental in building Chrome in the first place. So.
I mean, poaching talent, like that has to mean something.
Yeah, you're right. That's a really good point. I mean, they're serious about this.
It seems like building a browser is a really big deal. It's about controlling how people access information.
Exactly.
Imagine if you had a browser that was really deeply integrated with AI.
Yeah.
Maybe it even uses like a natural language interface like ChatGPT.
Right.
That could totally change how we search the internet.
It could be revolutionary. It could be like the shift from text-based interfaces to graphical ones.
Yeah.
And speaking of revolutionary, OpenAI isn't stopping there.
Oh.
They're in talks with companies like Condé Nast, Redfin, Eventbrite, and Priceline to add AI-powered search features to their websites.
What's the strategy there? What are they doing?
Well, it seems like they want to integrate AI into like the foundation of the entire web.
Wow.
Like this natural language web idea they're talking about could mean we'll be like talking to websites instead of clicking through menus.
Oh, so you could just say like, I need a hotel room in New York City for 2 nights.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
So does this mean OpenAI is basically trying to become the default AI for everybody?
That seems to be where they're headed. And it's not just websites either.
Really?
TechRadar also mentioned that OpenAI is talking with Samsung about possibly replacing Google's Gemini AI on Galaxy smartphones.
Wow. Okay, so back up for a second. What is Gemini AI?
So Gemini is Google's newest set of AI models that they're putting out to try to compete with ChatGPT.
Gotcha. Okay, so this means OpenAI's AI could actually be built directly into our phones.
Yeah, potentially.
Wow. It's a big deal. So it seems like they're really making moves to challenge Google's dominance in search and AI and even mobile technology.
Yeah, it's like a total David versus Goliath situation.
I love that analogy.
But it also raises some questions,
Yeah.
Like how will this play out? Who's going to control AI in the future?
Yeah, what does it mean for user choice, innovation?
Exactly. These are all really important things to think about.
It feels like a massive shift in the tech world, and Google's not just going to sit back and do nothing, right?
No, definitely not. Reports suggest that Google is actually pretty concerned about all of this. And they're working really hard to make Gemini better to compete with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So this competition could actually be a good thing. It could push everyone to innovate faster.
Yeah.
But it also highlights how important it is to have a bunch of different players in the AI space.
Competition's good. Yeah, it pushes everybody to do better.
Right.
But what happens if one company gets too big?
That's a great question.
What does that mean for users, and being able to choose?
Yeah, if one company ends up controlling all the most powerful AI systems,
Yeah.
that could totally change how we get information and how we interact with it.
Right. And it could even affect the direction AI development takes, which is...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's something to be mindful of for sure.
Yeah. So it seems like all of this innovation comes with some really big questions about power and control.
Definitely.
And about the future of the internet itself.
And these concerns aren't just about the technology itself.
Okay.
They extend to content creation too. As AI gets more and more powerful, we really have to consider how it's going to impact how we make and use content.
This is where it gets really interesting for me, and I think for our listeners too.
Right.
Because a lot of us are creating content in some way, right? Whether we're writing or making videos or composing music or even just sharing our thoughts online. How do AI fit into all of this?
That's a great question. And it leads us to an important idea.
Okay.
The idea of mindful AI media creation.
Mindful AI media creation. What is that?
So it's all about being aware of what AI can do, both good and bad, for creativity.
Okay.
It's about using AI to help creators, not to replace them.
Right.
And thinking about the ethical stuff that comes with using these powerful tools.
So it's like AI as a collaborator, not a replacement.
Exactly. You got it.
I like that.
It's about using AI to help you be more creative, not to let it take over.
Okay. I'm starting to get it now, and this is something we're going to dive into a lot deeper as we go.
Definitely.
This is a conversation that's just getting started.
Yeah, for sure.
This idea of like mindful AI media creation is really fascinating to me. It's like we're at this point where this incredible technology is emerging, but we actually have a chance to like shape how it develops.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's not every day that we get to be on the front lines of something like this.
Exactly.
It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we use it. You know, like
yeah.
what values do we want to build into these systems? How do we make sure that they help humans,
Right.
not the other way around?
Exactly. Are there any examples of people doing this mindful AI stuff already?
Yeah, actually, there are some really cool examples starting to pop up,
Really?
even in places you might not expect. Like take the music industry, for example.
Wait, AI making music? I thought we were talking about browsers and smartphones.
So it's not like replacing musicians with robots or anything like that.
Okay.
It's more about using AI as like a creative partner.
Oh, interesting.
Some musicians use AI to help them come up with melodies or chord progressions.
Oh.
And some even use it to create entirely new instruments and sounds.
So it's like AI is another tool in the musician's toolbox.
Yeah, exactly, like a guitar or a piano.
Gotcha.
The musicians still have the vision, but AI can help them explore all these new possibilities.
I like that. So it's a real collaboration.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But how do they make sure it still sounds like real music? You know, that it still has that human touch?
That's the key, isn't it? It takes a lot of understanding of both music and the tech.
Yeah.
And being willing to try new things while still staying true to your own style. It's still all about the human element in the end.
This kind of goes back to what we were talking about before about AI making creativity more accessible.
Right.
Like it could give more people the tools and resources that they need to be creative.
Absolutely. Imagine a world where anyone can use AI to bring their ideas to life.
Yeah.
No matter who they are or where they come from. It's a powerful idea.
I'm all for empowering creators. But are there any downsides to this approach? Like, could it lead to a situation where you need expensive AI tools to make good content?
That's a really good point, and something we have to think about carefully.
Yeah.
If we want to avoid making inequality worse, we need to make sure that everyone has access to AI tools.
Yeah.
That means supporting open source tools,
Right.
providing education, and building communities where people can learn from each other.
So it's about access and collaboration again.
Yeah, it's about making sure that AI benefits everyone,
Right.
not just a select few.
It's not just about building cool technology.
Right.
It's about using it to make the world a better place.
Exactly. Mindful AI development is about making sure that these technologies are used to help people.
Right.
And to benefit society as a whole.
So it's about the values we embed in the tech itself.
Yeah, it's about making sure that it reflects the kind of world we want to live in.
This has been a really insightful conversation. We've covered so much ground, from OpenAI's plans to the importance of mindful creation.
Yeah, this has been a great discussion.
But before we wrap up, I want to ask you one more thing. If you could give our listeners one piece of advice for navigating this new world of AI and content creation, what would it be?
I would say stay curious, stay informed, and don't be afraid to experiment.
I like that.
But always be critical and think for yourself.
Right.
Ask questions, challenge assumptions, and think about the bigger picture.
That's great advice. And I'd add, don't forget about your own unique voice and perspective. AI can be an amazing tool.
Yeah.
But it's up to us to use it in a way that makes us more human, not less.
Well said. I think it's all about finding that balance where human creativity and AI can work together to create something truly special.
This has been a really fascinating deep dive.
Yeah, I agree.
We've only just scratched the surface of this whole world of AI. It's amazing how fast this technology is changing.
I know, right? It's incredible and kind of overwhelming all at the same time.
Yeah, it really is. It seems like every day there's something new, a new breakthrough, a new application, or even, a new headline about AI doing something amazing or maybe a little bit scary.
Exactly. It's a lot to keep up with.
So how do we even make sure that we're not just getting swept up in all of it, but actually thinking critically about this whole AI revolution?
I think the most important thing is to stay informed, Right. We need to understand what's happening, both the good stuff and the potential risks.
I totally agree, but there's so much information out there. Where do we even start? There's articles and research and opinions.
Yeah, it can be a lot.
It can be overwhelming.
But there are really good resources out there,
Okay.
Like news sources that focus on technology or academic journals that go deep into the research.
Right.
And even organizations that are looking at the ethical and social side of AI. Those are all good places to start.
Yeah. That's a good point, and I think it's important to remember that not all information is equal right.
Oh, absolutely.
We need to be careful about what we read and not just believe everything we see.
It's like you have to be a little bit skeptical.
Yeah.
Just because something is possible with technology.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's a good idea or the right thing to do.
Right. So we need to ask questions and challenge assumptions and really think about the big picture.
Exactly.
Okay, so we got to stay informed and think critically. What else can we do to make sure that AI is used responsibly?
I think it's really important to support policies and regulations that focus on ethics.
Okay.
So like supporting lawmakers and organizations that are working to create guidelines for AI development,
Yeah.
to protect people's privacy, and to prevent this technology from being used in harmful ways.
Yeah, this idea that AI could end up concentrating power in the hands of just a few companies is a big concern for me.
Definitely. We need to make sure that AI benefits everyone.
Yeah.
Not just a small group of people.
Exactly. So that means pushing for rules that promote transparency and accountability and fairness in how AI is developed and used.
Exactly.
So it's not just about making cool technology. It's about making a better world.
Exactly. AI has the potential to solve some really big problems in the world, but only if we make sure it's used in a way that aligns with our values.
This whole conversation has been really eye-opening.
Yeah, it has.
As we wrap up here, I want to leave our listeners with one last question to ponder.
Okay.
If you could talk to a website like you talk to ChatGPT, how would that change your experience online? Would it be better, worse, or just different?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. I think it depends, honestly.
On what?
On how those AI interfaces are designed, how they're put into practice.
Right.
And most importantly, on the values and the goals of the people who make them.
So the future of AI isn't set in stone.
Not at all.
It's something that we're all shaping together.
I love that idea.
Through the choices we make and the conversations we have and the actions we take.
Yeah, the future of AI isn't something that's just happening to us. We're all creating it together.
Well said. And with that, we've come to the end of our deep dive into the world of AI. It's been a great journey.
We hope this has made you curious and challenged your thinking.
Definitely.
And maybe even